Greetings, everyone. Welcome to According to MJ. I am MJ, so figure we have a little midday chat today. I am trying a new streaming software, so let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm really just trying this out now, but it's so much going on in the world. I figured that we would talk about some recent updates that have came this week with the FDA, approving, or I guess I should use different language, but we know with the POTUS mandating, the country to get vaccinated, right, for the pandemonium 19 virus. So I thought it was interesting that they have a bill that's just been introduced into the House that I want to show you, and also even what's going on with the airlines. What does this mean for us? It's very interesting. So I'm not jabbed. I don't plan on being jabbed, but I see they are pushing the gas. They really, they're really trying to force people to do things that they really don't want to do. So I'm going to share my story, and so we look at this first story on the Washington Post regarding Delta Airlines. I'm curious to know what you all think about what's going on right now. So bear with me one moment here. Let me find my window. Okay, and this story is in the Washington Post, so I think it just broke today. It says Delta Airlines to require the employees be vaccinated or pay health insurance surcharge. And it says that the carrier is the latest major employer to push workers to get pandemonium shots, although the airline industry hasn't settled on a uniform approach. All right, I love Delta Airlines. I just feel for those employees. It says Delta Airlines said Wednesday that it will require employees to be vaccinated against the pandemonium virus or face the alternative of weekly testing and a $200 monthly surcharge. Chief Executive Ed Bastian outlined the new policies in a memo to the airline's 68,000 employees, saying that with the FDA's full approval of the Pfizer BioNTech pandemonium vaccine this week, the time is now, right? And he's saying that we've always known that vaccinations are the most effective tool to keep our people safe and healthy in the face of this global health crisis. That's why we're taking additional robust actions to increase our vaccination rate. And Delta will be the latest employer to push workers to get immunized, an approach that is gathering steam after the FDA approval and President Biden, calling on corporations to institute mandates. CVS Health, Deloitte, oh, that's so sad, Deloitte too, and Walt Disney Company are among companies that have added vaccine requirements for their employees. United Airlines became the first domestic carrier to impose a vaccine mandate for U.S.-based employees this month. That is crazy. They'll stop short of a vaccine mandate, but in the coming weeks will increase pressure on employees as new policies phase in, according to Bastian's memo. He said about 25% of his employees are vaccinated. And said unvaccinated employees will immediately be required to wear masks indoors. I'm sure they've been doing it already on company property. On September 12th, unvaccinated employees will be required to be tested weekly for the pandemonium virus, then isolate if the results come back positive. On September 30th, a coronavirus pay protection program offered through the company will only apply to breakthrough cases. November 1st, the $200 health insurance surcharge will begin. The average hospital stay for pandemonium 19 has cost Delta $50,000 per person. Oh my goodness. This surcharge will be necessary to address the financial risk the decision to not vaccinate is creating for our company. That's quite interesting. He said that since the spread of the Delta variant, which he referred to as a B.1.617.2, no company employee hospitalized with C19 has been vaccinated. That's interesting. Okay, and Delta began requiring all new employees to be vaccinated back in May. The airline industry has not settled on a single approach to vaccine mandate shortly after United announced its policy. Frontier Airlines said it would take a similar, hold on, I can read, okay? It would take a, so that now being used by Delta, giving employees a choice of getting fully vaccinated or undergoing regular testing. American Airlines Chief Executive Doug Parker ruled out a mandate, saying he hoped bonus vacation days and gift cards would be sufficient incentive. Southwest Airlines has said it strongly encouraged employees to get vaccinated. The FDA's approval of the Pfizer vaccine moves up the date at which United's mandate will take effect from October 25th to late September. And United's chief executive Scott Kirby and Brett Hart, the company's president, wrote a letter to employees that we have no greater responsibility to you and your colleagues than to ensure your safety when you're at work. And the facts are crystal clear. Everyone is safer when everyone is vaccinated. That's interesting. Let's see. The pandemic hit the airline industry hard, with travel all but grinding to a halt in the spring of 2020. Yeah, those tickets were very affordable. Last year, airline has received tens of billions of dollars in government aid designed to keep workers on the payroll, but have shed tens of thousands of jobs. Excuse me. Now, although passengers are not required to be vaccinated, they must wear masks under federal rules in place until at least January. People arriving in the U.S. from overseas must show a negative pandemonium test result. Alrighty, so that's what's in the Washington Post. I find this interesting, and I'll tell you why this is so interesting to me, because it looks like, based on the data, even people that have been vaccinated are still becoming ill with this variant, Delta variant, whatever. So it doesn't look like this vaccine is slowing any spread or anything like that. So I'm just really confused. And I'm confused. This doesn't make sense to me. To me, and you could call me conspiracy theorist, whatever, to me it seems like people are getting sick because they have this jab and they're spreading it to others. Like, there appears to be a direct correlation between, people getting vaccinated and what's going on right now. And I just want to let you know, I live in the city. I live in a construction area. So if you hear a lot of background noise, that's why. Hey, Virtuous Woman TV, what's up? So I was just kind of talking about what's going on with these mandates concerning the pandemonium virus, like all these companies, Delta, United Airlines. I know where I work, I work for the Fed, so of course that's one of the main places he wants to mandate. But then you have unions, you have so many things in place. So we got an email today, and they said they'll send out a memo about it. Because I'm not getting this thing. I'm not. I just think, why? And even as a child, I didn't have a choice. And, whatever. But let me show you all this next story related to Congress, the bill in Congress. Let's see if I can share that. Okay. So this is on congress.gov, so it is official. And it's interesting. It says H.R.4980 to direct the Secretary of Homeland Security to ensure that any individual traveling on a flight that departs from or arrives inside the United States or a U.S. territory is fully vaccinated against pandemonium 19 and for other purposes. So the sponsor of this bill is Representative Richie Torres, who is a Democrat out of New York. I tell y'all, people in New York are doing the most, yo. I don't want to live in New York at all. Look at this fucker right here. Okay, but whatever. Okay, and it was introduced on August 6, 2021, referred to the House Committee on Homeland Security. So it says here, the bill directs the Transportation Security Administration, our friends at TSA, to ensure that any individual traveling on a flight that departs from or arrives to an airport inside the U.S. or U.S. territory is fully vaccinated, okay? The TSA must also ensure that there is an exemption to the requirement for an individual who is ineligible or medically unable to be fully vaccinated against C19. So this is just really interesting to me. Like I mentioned, I guess one might call me conspiracy theories, but it's like they just really trying to force people to get this jab, and they don't do this with the flu vaccine. They don't really force us. I know at work, you know, you can get it for free, but there's no one like, oh, you need to get this. And I understand people are really sick, people die, but that is a part of the life process of being a human being. People die. Like, we're not immortal beings, so it's kind of part of the process of being a human. But I just don't like when they're being forced. I'm just curious to know, if y'all watching the replay, let me know what you think of all these. Is your employer forcing you to get this vaccine? I know in New York, the teachers are forced. I think they have up until late next month to get it. So I'm wondering, are teachers going to quit, or are they going to fall in line with this? And normally, you know, all of us have been vaccinated, right? All our life, especially us born in the U.S. for not chicken pox. I actually had chicken pox, but like the MMR, all the different vaccines we had in childhood and to enter college. But this is different because there's a site, I can find a name, you can actually see like people that are negatively impacted from vaccinations. And it's VRS system. You can see there's so many people being impacted. There are babies being born missing limbs and fingers. This is very serious. They're giving this to pregnant women. This is very serious. And I think a lot of people are just saying, well, I have no choice. You do have a choice. You don't have to take this. Perhaps it may mean you lose your employment. We know there are other ways to make money, but I just feel like if we just lay down and say and take this, what else are they going to try to force us to do? This is fuckery at its finest. This is not right. And I know a lot of distractions going on in the world. Even here on YouTube, I love to watch that fuckery with Kwame Brown and Tommy. And even like it's one channel, I think they've taken, I've never seen these folks talk about Brother Polite or Sonetta before, but now that's all they talk about. Like, come on. We get what he did is horrible, but y'all, that channel just find any way to put down brothers. Like, but this is very serious, peak. So I just hope you all are paying attention to what's going on, because this is not right. And let me find that other story. So bear with me one moment. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment, but just bear with me because and again, I'm also testing this restream, playing around with it as well. But I hope you all are having a great Wednesday today, wherever you are, whatever time you listen to this. Hope your day is going well. But my spidey senses are just going off. It's like, what is this really about? Is this really about a public health crisis? Or is there something that we're just not seeing that's not, you know, our eyes can't see, but what's really going on here? Because we know that the FDA rushed to approval for this just so they can just force people to get it. I mean, I'm not going to speak on leader of this country, but to me, he seems like he has a mental decline. Uh, his mental faculties don't seem to be all the way there. And of course, this vaccine uses mRNA technology. That's not in other vaccines. So this is not your typical vaccine. And if anyone tries to come for me, I do have my undergraduate degree is in chemistry with forensic certificate. So I do know some science. I'm not ignorant to science. But this is crazy, yo. This is absurd what they're asking us to do. And I feel like if more people would just stop being passive and ask more questions, say no, then maybe we can get some headway and get some more answers about what's going on. Now, if they come up with a vaccine that's not mRNA and that's not Johnson & Johnson, maybe, but I mean, I'm gonna show you my Twitter. Krispy Kreme is offering 2 free donuts if you show that you've been vaccinated. Like your health is worth 2 free fucking donuts. This is ignorant. This is so ignorant. It's just disgusting what we have. I mean, I live in a DMV area. They had an event where they were vaccinating people. They were giving away a Jeep Wrangler. It was a nice one, I think the Rubicon. So it was a really nice Jeep. They had this band out there playing music. People were dancing. I was kind of insulted. Like they just play. They think we so ignorant. So I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to show you my Twitter, and you all can follow me on Twitter if you like. But you see here that Krispy Kreme will give you 2 free donuts as if they're not like really cheap. Give you 2 free donuts. So that's what they're doing, 2 free donuts. They will give Americans who have gotten at least 1 vaccination shot 2 free donuts every day as a part of a week-long promotion. Vaccinated patrons can get an original glaze along with a heart-shaped donut. This is ignorant. This is ignorant. So I would love y'all to drop your comments below about this. What do you think about this? Have you all had the jab? Have you been negatively impacted by it? Have you had any negative side effects? Are you still suffering any side effects from it? This is just crazy to me. And even it's just tearing up families where families are fighting because some want, some feel you should get it. I know a friend of my family, her and her mom are not speaking because her mother's a nurse and she does not want to get it. And then the Pentagon is requiring the military, the armed forces to get it. And I think they have to get the one that's from Pfizer. So this is crazy. I know, I think in the past they had to get the anthrax. There's something for anthrax or something like that. So it's nothing new for them, but this was going on with the southern border, what's going on in Afghanistan. And this is a good account actually to follow, The Hill on Twitter. Tell about 12,000 people. New York has 12,000 deaths after the Como exit. So if this jab is so effective, why are people in the hospital? Israel is a good example. If you look at the data coming out of the country of Israel, where like over 90% of that country is vaccinated, but yet you have the ICU is full in that country. It's full. So apparently this vaccine does not work and it's only doing more harm than good. It looks like that's what they want to do to people. Obviously, because why are you forcing someone to get something that's making people sick, that's killing people? This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't like it at all. And I don't like to be made a fool of. So Israel, they have 213 million cases. They have 4.46 million deaths as of today. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again so you can see the screen. Then I'm gonna get out of here. I want to be brief, but just wanted to talk about this. Insane. So this story here, it says nearly 60% of hospitalized pandemonium 19 patients in Israel are fully vaccinated. The data shows. Okay, so I guess this is a sample they took of 514 patients in Israel hospitalized with C19. As of August 15, 59% were fully vaccinated, according to August 16 article from Science that cited national data tracked by Israel's largest health management organization. The figures suggest that breakthrough infections may be more common than the term implies, the report suggests. It makes me think is if the people that are getting this jab should be quarantined once they get it, because they're the one that making people sick. They're who making people sick. And I've never had C19, thank Most High. I traveled last year. I was in Vegas in the height of the pandemic. I was fine. I was just in Vegas last month. I'm still fine. I've never had a C19 test. I have a strong immune system. I trust my immune system. But this story goes on to say that this is a very clear warning sign for the rest of the world, said Rand Bossier, CIO at Clit Health Services, which is Israel's largest health maintenance organization. If it can happen here, it can probably happen anywhere, he told Science. The country has one of the world's highest C19 vaccination levels with about 78%. I thought it was higher than that, but they're saying 78% of ages 12 and older fully vaccinated, mostly with the Pfizer vaccine. At the same time, Israel now has one of the highest infection rates in the world, potentially a sign of waning vaccine immunity as the highly contagious Delta variant spreads, Science reports. In response, Israel began administering booster doses to people ages 16 and older July 30th. The country has since expanded booster dose eligibility to Israelis who are at least 50 years old. Given the large number of fully vaccinated Israelis, some breakthrough cases were expected, health officials say, and a growing body of research has shown those who are unvaccinated face far higher risk of severe illness or death from a C19 infection. So that's interesting. That's very interesting data. Okay. And we could keep going with this. Like, look at this article. And this is from the CDC. I'm clicking on it. So it looks like it is. I'm wondering, I'm just brainstorming here, is this vaccine called, is this what has caused this variant? It just seems to be a direct correlation to me. And this say that CDC says 74% of people infected in Massachusetts outbreak were vaccinated. Okay. And this story was posted on July 30th. Among 469 COVID-19 infections tied to a number of summer events and large public gatherings in Barnstable County, Massachusetts, about 3/4 of cases occur in fully vaccinated people, according to the CDC's latest morbidity and mortality weekly report. Wow, they report for that. Okay. Says a large number of public gatherings occurred at a town in the county between July 3rd through 17th, and beginning July 10th, the state's health department started receiving reports of an uptick in COVID-19 infections among fully vaccinated residents. Of 469 infections associated with the events, about 74% were breakthrough infections. So total 5 were hospitalized, including 4 who were fully vaccinated. No deaths have been reported. The outbreak was largely fueled by the Delta variant, first detected in India and now the dominant U.S. strain. The variant was detected in 89% of specimens that were sequenced from 133 patients. Additionally, specimens from vaccinated people who were infected had similar cycle threshold values to those who were unvaccinated and infected. This might mean that the viral load of vaccinated and unvaccinated persons infected with SARS-CoV-2 is also similar, researchers said. Wow. Wow, jurisdictions might consider expanded prevention strategies, including universal masking in indoor public settings, particularly for large public gatherings that include travelers from many areas with different levels of SARS-CoV-2 transmission. This report was part of a previous unpublished data that contributed to the CDC's recent decision to update mask guidance, which suggests everyone wear a mask in public indoor spaces in areas of high or substantial community transmission, regardless of vaccination status. The finding is concerning and was a pivotal discovery leading to CDC's updated mask recommendation. Rochelle Walensky, MD, who is CDC director, said in a July 30th statement, the masking recommendation was updated to ensure the vaccinated public would not knowingly transmit virus to others, including their unvaccinated or immunocompromised loved ones. So it really seems that the people that have gotten the jab think they are safe and that they are just, I guess, an avenger, but they're not. And they're the ones that are going around unmasked. I see them when I'm in the mall, grocery store, here in DMV. There's some areas where they just have a sign that we suggest you wear a mask. So they really need to enforce it. But I just wonder, are they doing this on purpose, knowing how humans operate? No, because a lot of people didn't want to wear their mask, but now the CDC said, oh, you didn't have to wear it. Now they want you to wear it. Oh, it's a lot. So all in all, I think that for me personally, whenever I go, I always wear a mask. I work from home. I've been working home exclusively several months, so I'm grateful for that. But I do go out because I feel like I don't want to be like living in a bubble. So I go out to the park, restaurants, mall, whatever. Like I said, I was in Las Vegas last month. I went to the Usher Las Vegas residency. So I was in a room with thousands of people. I didn't have my mask on all the time during the show, but I did eventually put it back on. But I just think that there's something here that we're not getting. There's something here that we're not really privy to, because I don't know if it's because, when you get a job, no one never asked me if I had MMR vaccine, if I had hepatitis B, if I had that HPV vaccine. No one ever asked me that. No one. So I don't know if they were just saying, oh, we assume. But now all of a sudden this. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't like it, but I'm curious to know what you all think. So be sure to like this video. If you're watching this stream later, be sure to leave your comments below. I really want to know what you think about this. And if you have family that has been jabbed and still fell ill with the virus, let me know. I hope you are well out there. And I'm going to head out. But like and subscribe to the channel. Until the next stream. Later, you all stay safe.